Woo woo! That's a mighty fine quote! Stoppard excellently shows with this quote that everyone is bound by their own inescapable fate. They are just moving along through time. Quote number 4.
Do it! Quote number 4, page 79 and 80. Player Guildenstern.
There's a design at work in all art. Surely you know that. Events must play themselves out to aesthetic, moral, and logical conclusion.
And what's that in this case?
It never varies. We aim at the point where everyone who is marked for death dies.
Marked?
Between just desserts and tragic irony, we are given quite a lot of scope for our particular talent. Generally speaking, things have gone about as far as they can possibly go, when things have got about as bad as they reasonably get.
Who decides?
Decides? It is written. Now, if you're going to be subtle, we'll miss each other in the dark. I'm referring to oral tradition, so to speak. We're tragedians, you see. We follow directions. There is no choice involved. The bad end unhappily, the good unluckily. That is what tragedy means.
Ooh, it is written. Stoppard comments yet again on the predetermined nature of fate and conveys a somewhat pessimistic view of life, saying it is inevitable that it will end unhappily or unluckily.
Man, that's just unlucky.
And next, quote number 3.
Quotation number trace. Page 101. Guildenstern.
Free to move, speak, extemporize, and yet we have not been cut loose. Our truancy is defined by one fixed star, and our drift represents merely a slight change of angle to it. We may seize the moment, toss it around while the moments pass, a short dash here, an exploration there, but we are brought round full circle to face again the single immutable fact that we, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, bearing a letter from one king to another, are taking Hamlet to England.
Delicious play. In this monumental quote, Stoppard is making a commentary that even though Rose and Gil have some leeway in their actions, they will ultimately end up following a fixed star that leads to England, and in the long run, the light at the end of the tunnel. Death. Everyone's fate. And now up next, we have quote numero dos.
Quote number 2. Page 103. Rosencrantz, Guildenstern.
You had money in both hands.
Yes.
Every time?
Yes.
What's the point of that?
I wanted to make you happy.
That crafty bastard. Rose is illustrating to Guildenstern that no matter what decision he makes, he will suffer the same fate, even if it initially appears to him that he does in fact have choice. And now, on to play number 1.
Quote number 1.
One!
Page 122.
And
Rosencrantz. And 123. Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, the player.
Where we went wrong was getting on a boat. We can move, of course, change direction, rattle about, but our movement is contained within a larger one that carries us almost as inexorably as the wind and current.
They had it in for us, didn't they? Right from the beginning? Who'd have thought that we were so important?
But why? Was it all for this? Who are we that so much should converge on our little deaths? Who are we?
You are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. That's enough.
No, it is not enough to be told so little, to such an end, and still finally to be denied an explanation.
In our experience, most things end in death. Delicious play. Again. In this quote, Stoppard really drives home the fate theme that began long ago with the flipping of a coin. Again, Stoppard shows that although Rose and Gil can move somewhat, their actions are ultimately on a course that has already been written from the beginning. Everyone will die. That is everyone's final destination. Fate!
Coins! We have one final breaking news story? Rosencrantz?
And Guildenstern?
are dead? I'm your host, Michael French.
And I'm your co-host, Coley O'Connor.
That's all we got.
That's not what we need. You guys have to introduce the
Quote number 1. Page 122. Rosencrantz, Guildenstern. Play.
Where we went wrong was getting on a boat. We can move, of course, change direction, rattle about, but our movement is contained within a larger one that carries us, almost as inexorably.
You suck!
Inexorably.
Inexorably!
I said
What?
I thought you were gonna say, how does he do it?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
We go.
Kelly up! Mystical experience! Share by everyone!
Hello, welcome to StoppardCenter.
StoppardCenter!
I'm co-host Coley O'Connor.
And I'm co-host Michael French, or are you Michael French?
You're Coley.
You're Coley. I'm Coley O'Connor, and you're Michael French.
No. Yes. That crafty bastard.